Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I am finally filming the second part of everything that I colored with the 2019 update. My apologies for taking so long. I've had the books on my desk all month, just like waiting for the right moment, and today's that day. So also I just wanted to say hello to all of my subscribers and give a special welcome to everyone who's recently subscribed. Really happy to have you. And yeah, so these are not in order of artist anymore as they've been shuffled around a bit, but I'll start with Enzyme. We have this one, which is just the title page, and this looks like it is Prismacolor. I'm not 100%, I can't remember. And I believe I did this in 2019. Or no, that must have been 2018. And then this is the only one that I've even started and finished of Tomislav Tomic's pictures. That's like an actual picture, and I really love how it turned out. I used my polychromos pencils and just had a lot of fun doing this sunflower. I'm gonna bring it closer because there's a lot of little details. So yeah, this was really fun. I might have made some different color choices if I were to go back now, but for the most part I do like all the color choices that I made for that one. Let's see, we have Camilla de Araco's Pop Manga, and I did this in 2018. This is the only one that I've done in this book as well. I need to get back into it because her illustrations are really cute. But this is marker base hair, and the stars are also marker base, and then I went over with Prismacolors, and this is the first time that I attempted a skin tone that actually felt like it was more skin and less gray weird muck, so that was exciting, and also one of my first tries at doing hair with pencil, so super happy with that. Then we have Ticket to Dreams by Carolina Kowakowska, and I love this book. Okay, let's see. We have one from 2018, which is this one right here. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna readjust something really fast because I can't see. Okay, there we go. Now I can see what's going on. I might open the blinds too, just as it's been so cloudy all month. Okay, that's better. We have some light. So this was marker base with polychromos. I usually do Prismacolor marker base, but I do like how smoothly the polychromos blend on top of the marker. And here we have one from 2019. This was a super quick one I did with my Arteza brush pens. It literally took like 15 minutes to do. I don't really like this misty part color wise as much, but I love the painterliness of the fox, and I think it was supposed to be a wolf, but I decided it was gonna be a fox. And then this is another 2019, and it was really simple, just like I think this was a watercolor wash, and then I went over with polychromos pencils. And let's see here. Oh, did I miss one? Yeah. Okay, so there's this one on this page. Also 2019. And I was loving this one, and then I spilled water, and it kind of made this cool watercolory effect in the background, but it obviously smeared some of it. And I think I was on the phone when I was working on this one, and I wasn't paying attention to the pattern of the sunbeams, so I had to go in and make some stuff up. Draw some of my own lines and stuff, so that was kind of funny. But I think it still turned out really cool. This one, also 2019, this is one of my first pictures using just ink tints. I kind of wanted to see what it could do just by itself. I love the colors of the hair and the background as well, those colors. And I was impressed by how well the skin turned out for being ink tints. It looks a little washed out on camera, but it is a very pale. And then this one I didn't mark. I think I did this one in November or December of 2019 with ink tints. And I love the background and the green trees. And I just wanted to note, so you can see the greenness of the trees pretty well, and it was very similar looking to how these trees looked. So even though her books are really dark in areas, if you use the right media, you can still get color in those areas to show. So I love that one. And I think that's it for Ticket to Dreams. And then we have Português Strões Nu. This picture, I think, was one of the first ones that I used my Arteza brush pens. So I was trying to figure out how they worked. I think I used a red over all of it, and it ended up being pretty dark, so I went over with a white polychromos pencil and lightened up the edges of the petals, and then did this watercolory kind of background. And that was a 28, oh sorry, camera shaking. That was 2018. I need to work on this book again. Here's another 2018. This was inspired by Anne of Green Gables from the book and the older movie. And ironically, when I worked on this, the one, the Anne with the E on Netflix came out, so that was kind of funny. I haven't watched it because I didn't like the direction it was going with the story. It was very different from the original, so when you've read the book like 10 times, like I have, you don't want it to get ruined. So yeah, this was Prismacolor pencils, and I did a marker base, I think, for her hair, and then went over darker with Prisma, or maybe it was an Arteza. I think it was an Arteza base. So yeah, there's that one. And then Dreamweaver by Olivia Whitworth. I loved how this book tells a story, and so I bought it when I first started building my collection. Never worked on it until this year. So I did this double page spread. This is her having her dream, and this is her in her dream looking for her cat. So I did all of this with just ink tints. So it's like more vibrant feeling and less shaded, but I love the illustrated to kind of fill that ads. And then I went through and I did all of the cats, and I think most of the lady, just because I wanted to be able to use the same colors since it's telling a story. So that's Dreamweaver. I'll put that there. Next we have Fairy Tales by Emily Lydehalberg. I love this book so much. Okay, so this is the deer that I did in 2018. I used polychromos, and I had a really hard time figuring out what these lines were, so this is what I came up with for what was supposed to be in this area right here. And also for the shadow on these blueberries, I actually did a purple underneath first, and then the blue, dark blue, and then the light blue, because a warmer shadow can give a more realistic feel to a cool object, and vice versa for something that's warm if you do a cooler shadow. So yeah, that's just a little tip. Let's see, this one is from 2019, just really simple, one that I didn't feel needed a background. I love this cute yellow cottage with the pink roof, and the colors coordinate with each other. So this was really fast. I think it took like a day. There's the other one. This one, I think, was the first one that I did in this book. So it's a 2018. I used Prismacolor, which works like a dream on this paper. And then the background is acrylic. And I added this visual texture. It's really, really hard to see. It's white, and it kind of just gives the bottle a bit of an energy. And it's really fun to touch because it's acrylic that's matte. Next up we have Mouse Guard coloring book by David Peterson.
Sorry, I'm not sure about that.
Okay. I don't know if you heard that, but my Amazon device thought I was talking to her. This one I did 2019, and I used ink tints, and this was really fast. It took maybe an hour or less. It's funny because I worked on it when my husband was home for lunch, and then he was like, "Whoa, you finished it already?" So that's the beauty of ink tints, is you put just a little bit of color down, add water, and magic can happen. And then, let's see, oh, I missed it. There it is. Okay. This one is also 2019. I used Prismacolor because they also work really nicely on this paper. I love the colors in this one with the bluebells kind of making the analogous scheme with the blue-green leaves. And the first one that I did in this book was in 2018. And I kept it very simple, graphic. The only shading is on the mouse and the sword and the acorns. Everything else is straight. And I really like how it turned out. I think it turned out really cool. His illustrations are really fun to color, or add to color too. Alright, the look. This book, I love the illustrations, but I don't love the paper. It's really thin. Like, you can see the other picture through to the other side. Let's see here. I have this work in progress. This was the first picture that I this is when I first started coloring, and I had never done skin with colored pencils really before. I'd only like painted skin. So this did not, she looks very sick, so I was discouraged and moved on to other pictures. And then this is the other picture that I've done with, I wanted to use washi tape on a page, and I thought this would be perfect because it creates a textile really fast. And I love the different patterns together, the two different patterns, like the pattern clashing. It's kind of a trend. It like matches, but it is two different patterns. And because I wanted her to be the focal point, I didn't color anything else in the background, and I just kept the texture of the background really simple in the same color scheme, and that's all in the look. And I think everything else was with Prismacolor. In Mandala Meditation, I worked on a few mandalas. I did not do any in 2019, so these are all 2018 pages. I love the colors in this one. This was really fun to do. And this is all water-based marker. This one I rotated with, using the Roy G. Biv colors. So that one's really bright. And then I have this work in progress. So as you can tell, I don't do mandalas very much. Okay. In Zemlya's Nova, so how you say it? I have one work in progress. It's this one so far. I've just done the Prismacolor right here, and I layered two different colors to create a lighter solid color. I used 1008 and 1026. If you're curious. So yeah, I really want to do another Thomas Atomic picture this year. At least one, you know. Okay, in Magical City by Lizzie Mary Colin, I finished this spread right here, and this was in the last half of 2019, and I used ink tints, and it's really fun to see, like, once you add just one element in her books, everything else just kind of comes together. And this is the first one. First Lizzie Mary Colin picture that I actually finished. And it's the space station. I love the colors. This is when I first got ink tints, so that's why it's kind of blotchy, because it's figuring out blending them. And then I went over the top to do some more shading in some areas with pencil where I wanted more control. In the Magical Journey, I have one work in progress. It's this one. It's been a work in progress for a long time, but once it's finished, it'll be really pretty. So that's Magical Journey. The Time Garden. I started a double page spread, and it still has not been finished. I did this background with gel pen and Prismacolors, and I needed a break from this page, and then I never went back and finished it. So yeah, someday I will finish a spread in this book. Okay, in World of Flowers by Johanna Basford, I have finally completed one picture in 2019. This is with the Albert Durr watercolor pencils for the background. For the building details and for the flowers. And then I used my polychromos because they're in the same color family as the Albrecht pencils, and did these leaves and the foliage with that. And I was really nervous about some of the colors that I used here and the combinations, but I think it turned out really pretty. So that's World of Flowers. And then in Enchanted Forest, we have my hot pink and purple tree. And I really am so close to finishing this one. I just really all I need to do is do the second bark color and then do those leaves, and it'll be complete. So this is a work in progress. Okay, in Imagine Morphia, I don't think I've done any in Imagine Morphia. I don't know why I have it in this pile. Yeah, I haven't. That's really sad. But in Mythomorphia, I've done a couple. This is also one of the first coloring books that I added to my collection when I started coloring seriously. And I did, sadly it's already falling apart. I did this tree man with my budget pencils, and this was really fun, but I was really happy to be finished with the greenery because it's a lot of greenery. And then the other picture I've done in here is Medusa, and I love the colors. I wanted to kind of create this concept of having an alpha snake, or like, you know, the lead snake, and then I was gonna leave her eyes either white or black. I went with black, just to create, you know, that mythical kind of a image. So yeah, I need to color in this book again because it's one of my favorite Kirby books. And also, I saw a flip through of his Worlds Within Worlds, and oh yes, he is so talented. I've been like trying to curb how many books I get, and that is definitely one I will be getting. So this one I did in 2019 in Geum Morphia. What did I use? This looks like Prismacolors. I kept the water really simple. I think I only used two? That looks like 2 or 3 colors. These bowls reminded me of The Last Unicorn, because there's that bowl in the water or something. I'm trying to get the unicorn. Is that right? Or is it fire? Is it a fire bowl? I think it's a fire bowl, but these reminded me of that. And I love the contrasts of colors, so that was a fun one. And Gnomes in the Neighborhood, I have a work in progress. It is this one. I colored the flowers and that's it. I need to get back to it because this is also a really simple one to finish. Let's see. Oh, Romantic Country. This is the 3rd tale. I think I have one colored in every single one now. Let's see here. Okay. Oh, I love this page. So this is my Inspired by Winnie the Pooh page, because to me it felt like that celebration birthday party they have after the flood, and Christopher has a present for Pooh Bear and Eeyore thinks it's for him. That part of Winnie the Pooh. So there's Christopher Robin, there's Winnie the Pooh, and then there's a goose. But I love the colors. I repeated all the colors that are in the tablecloth and other parts of here so it wouldn't feel too chaotic. And I also really like this tree, how it turned out, and that is with Prismacolor. And let's see here, do I have any other finished ones? No. So I think that's the only one I've done in the third tail. In the second tail, I've done, so this was a color and chat. This was like my first color and chat. Wow, that's a long time ago. And I used the pastels on the background. I still haven't sprayed it. But the funny thing is, I saw someone post on one of the Facebook groups I'm in their version of this same picture, and the colors are a little bit different, but it's almost exactly the same. It's like, wow, that's awesome. So yeah, I'm not sure if it was a coincidence or if it was an inspired thing. So there's that in that one, and then in, wait a second, that's the third tail, that's the second tail. In the first tail, I started this one, I think in December, or no, yeah, December. And I don't think I've completed, yeah, I haven't completed a page in this one yet. So I've started one, just need to finish it. And let's see, in Fantasia by Nick Chandrianata, I have a few. There's this one that I'm working on. I did her skin, and I'm gonna use like the Hmong traditional clothing that they wear. I want to use those colors. I just need to get around to doing it. It also reminds me a lot of something that's Aztec or Incan, so I can also draw inspiration from there. Here's a finished one. I love this picture. This is done with Inktense. Inktense on this paper is amazing because the paper is thick enough that it can take the water, and I love the color schemes, or the colors together. It just is really awesome. In my opinion, it's awesome. Let's see here. This is a dragon that I did closer when I first got this book. I used Arteza brush pens for the base on the wings and the headdress, and then polychromos pencil for the scales, and then watercolor pencil for his underbelly. And I think I added more depth with watercolor pencils, just like a basic brand before I had my Faber-Castell ones. And then, oh, and the background is acrylic. This one is also an acrylic background. Oh, so I forgot to do years. This one, 2019. The other dragon, 2018. This one's also 2018. This was also with my Arteza brush pens. I like how watercolory the fabric looks. I think that turned out cool. And I believe that's it for Fantasia. And then I have a couple more to show that I worked on this year, and also pictures that I worked on in December. So in December 2019. Okay, so this was the December of 2018. I worked on this page, and then December of 2019. Where did it go? Oh, I worked on this one, the 12 Days of Christmas. And yeah, I just got distracted by other stuff. Had other things. I colored these while my son was napping, and I was sitting in the room with him, so I had to color really quietly so that the pencil wouldn't wake him up. Let's see. So in this one, this is Grayscale Chibi Girls by Jade Summer. I did this Magician. I think this is the first picture I did in here, and it's with just alcohol markers. Her hair is shaded, everything else is just straight coloring. And then also in 2019 I did this girl, and I added shading on mostly on her. Everything else I just left. I let the grayscale kind of do the work. And I believe, is that everything that I did? I thought I worked on another. Let me double check. Maybe there was one I wanted to work on but didn't get to. I think that's what happened. Oh no, here it is. So I started working on this one. I have just a little bit of ways to go. This is just the first layer of alcohol marker. So in some places I'll go over with darker pencil to add more depth. But yeah, I'm loving so far how it's turned out. And then in Johanna's Christmas, this is the first adult coloring book I ever owned. It was my mom gave it to me, and yeah, so these are pre-2018 pictures. I don't even know how old they are, so there's these poinsettias. This is back when I had like 24 colored pencils. There's this snowflake, very low-key contrast and simple, and then this gingerbread house. So you can kind of see I had come quite a ways. Then there's this tree, which I think is really cool. This is more when I started getting back into coloring, so it's actually, I think, 2018 Christmas picture. And then the one that I started working on this year that my son helped me work on, as you can see, which I'll probably just go over with an acrylic background or something. It's this silver kind of heart. So yeah, he helped. That's what happens when you leave something in the room that your son is napping in. I snuck out to get stuff done, and he also got stuff done. And then I started working on some of my alphabet coloring pages so I can help my son start learning the alphabet, like learning to recognize the capital letters at least. So this is available for download in my Etsy and purchase as a coloring book on Amazon. But these I have just printed on cardstock. So this is the letter A and the letter B, which I love the colors for this one. Same with the letter C. I love that hot pink contrast with the green. And letter D, which I kept simple. And you can't see it very well, but I added like darker lines on the scales, but My marker wasn't dark enough, I don't think. And then the letter E. And my son also wanted to color, so he got to color on the back. So he's also going to be some sort of artist one day. Anyways, I believe that is oh wait, one more. A Heather Valentin picture. I can't find the actual page, but I do have a picture of it. I did this for her cover competition. She had a competition to see whose version of her drawing would be put on the front of her book. So this is what I colored, and it turned out cute. It's a bit of the picture doesn't do it justice just because it is a picture and it's glossy, but yeah. So that is everything that I have ever colored. I'm hoping to color even more this year. We'll see how that goes. I did color way more in 2019 than I did in 2018, so that was kind of fun to see. Yeah, so if you enjoyed this video or were inspired to pull out your coloring books that maybe you haven't worked in, because I know that always, watching videos like this always helps me with that, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, and if you're not already, subscribe, because we would love to have you, and I hope to see you next time. Happy coloring!